Hello and welcome to Factual Insider, the channel that strives to cover as many facts as possible. Today we will be discussing 10 facts about Game of Thrones you may not know. If you find any of the facts to be interesting, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Please be aware that this video will contain spoilers, so if there are episodes that you haven't watched yet or you are new to Game of Thrones, you have been warned. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1. During the 9th episode in Season 6, which is called the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones, there would be an encounter between Ramsay Bolton and Jon Snow, and the episode would be a fan favorite among Game of Thrones fans. Played by Ian Ryan, Ramsay Bolton almost had Kit Harington play the role, but instead he ended up playing as Jon Snow instead. Ian Ryan auditioned for Game of Thrones and he auditioned to play as Jon Snow instead, but would actually be a runner-up for the character, which could have easily ended up becoming an entirely different experience for Game of Thrones fans. Number 2. The pilot episode of Game of Thrones was what helped introduce many potential fans to the critically acclaimed television series. However, the pilot episode that fans originally saw was not the original pilot episode that was originally recorded. Presented to a private audience, Tom McCarthy, who's known for directing the 2015 film Spotlight, directed the original pilot episode for Game of Thrones, and it was so poorly received by the private audience that 90% of the pilot episode had to be reshot and scrapped. The viewers of the original pilot episode were unable to realize that Jaime and Cersei were brother and sister, along with a host of other problems with the writing of the episode. Having a new and different director, which was Tim Van Patten, the newly redone pilot episode was received very well among viewers and is considered to be one of the most memorable episodes for the show. Number 3. Game of Thrones has been successful in creating many memorable and incredible moments and scenes that fans adore. Two of the most famous scenes in Game of Thrones are actually based off real-life events. The Red Wedding that took place in Episode 9 in Season 3, which was titled The Rains of Castamere, is based off of two events that took place during Scottish history, which were the 1691 Massacre of Glencoe and the 1440 Black Dinner. During the Massacre of Glencoe, troops searched for shelter with another clan but were killed during their sleep, while the Black Dinner had a 16-year-old boy named Earl with his younger 10-year-old brother, which were both lured to a feast and were dragged outside and executed. Joffrey and Marjorie's wedding is based off an event that happened in 1153, in which Prince Eustace, who was the son of King Stephen in England, died after choking on food. Number 4. It's no secret that illegal pirating of TV shows, films and other media is a common occurrence in the modern day, but according to Torrent Freak, Game of Thrones was the most pirated show for 6 years between 2012 and 2017. However, once when the final season for Game of Thrones was premiered in 2019, it was pirated 55 million times within a span of just 24 hours. Number 5. Being a television show with massive commercial success, Game of Thrones has done so well that it has been nominated and won numerous awards since the show's beginnings in 2011. Game of Thrones has been nominated for 757 awards and 272 awards, such as Outstanding Visual Effects in 2014 from the Hollywood Post Alliance Awards, Outstanding Compositing in a Broadcast Program in 2013 from the Visual Effects Society Awards, Top 10 TV Programs of the Year for 2011 to 2017 and 2019 from the American Film Institute Awards, and many other awards as well. Number 6. George R.R. Martin, who is the author of A Song of Ice and Fire, is, believe it or not, what Game of Thrones as an adaptation of almost had a cameo to be seen by viewers. In the original pilot episode that was poorly received from private viewing, George Martin had a cameo appearance at Daenerys and Khal Drogo's wedding in the original pilot. Of course, the scene was scrapped and removed, so George Martin tried to get another appearance by having his head on a severed stake. Unfortunately, George Martin did not make the appearance, either due to the prop being expensive and unless if he provided his own severed head, it would not appear. There was an attempt to make a cameo of the author in Season 8 of Game of Thrones, but unfortunately he was too busy working on the Winds of Winter to make an appearance. Number 7. There have been many surprises and memorable visuals in Game of Thrones and has had many interesting people appear on the show, including music bands. During Season 3, when Jaime and Brienne are captured, you can see Gary Lightbody, who is the lead singer and guitarist from Snow Patrol, play as a Bolton soldier singing The Bear and the Maiden Fair. Will Champion, who is the drummer from Coldplay, can also be seen in The Red Wedding along with Sigur Rós, that performed during Joffrey and Marjorie's wedding, and Mastodon appeared as Wilding for the season finale for Season 7. Finally, Will Wilco Johnson from Dr. Feelgood played as Island Payne for the first and second seasons for Game of Thrones. Number 8. Many different actors were casted for many different roles for Game of Thrones, but according to David Benioff, who was a writer for Game of Thrones, said at SXSW in 2017 that Arya Stark was difficult to cast, and in fact 300 different girls were looked at in England to play for the role. Maisie Williams was selected eventually due to a video selected that had a thumbnail that looked promising when going through auditioning videos. After a painstaking 40-minute download from a bad Wi-Fi connection, it was determined that Maisie Williams would make the role to play as Arya Stark. Number 9. All films and television shows are known to have a variety of many miscellaneous props, and some of which require creative measures to help set the right vision. This was also the case for Game of Thrones when Jon Snow's cape from Nightwatch was hilariously made from an Ikea rug. Michelle Clapton, who was the costume designer for Game of Thrones, oversaw a team from 70 to 100 people each season. She stated that the team takes anything they can and cut, shave, and added leather straps to make the capes. Ikea then added instructions for Scold rugs on how to make a Scold rug into a cape. Number 10. With the expected House of Dragons spin-off of Game of Thrones expected to arrive August 21, 2022, which is very soon after this video's upload, it would not be the first Game of Thrones spin-off to be in consideration. Back in 2018, there was a series called Blood Moon which was meant to be a successor to Game of Thrones and was set in the Age of Heroes and the Long Night. Created by Jane Goldman with little involvement with George Martin, it was based on a time period that was only mentioned in passing in the books, and unfortunately HBO decided not to have Blood Moon premiere after the pilot episode was completed. Well, there you have it. Those were 10 facts about Game of Thrones you may not know. Hope that the video was enjoyable and entertaining. You are encouraged to watch more facts about other miscellaneous topics. See you next time.